I had worked in the corporate world for 20 plus years and worked for some great companies and did some awesome things. But I knew, like, in the back of my mind during that whole time that eventually I wanted to work for myself. And I loved real estate. You know, I'd bought and sold a lot of homes personally, had remodeled a few homes to live in, and I just always loved the process. I love working with people, and I love the art of the deal, which real estate is, you know, obviously the art of the deal is a huge part of it. And so one day I just woke up and I said, I'm gonna leave the corporate world and I'm gonna work for myself and I'm gonna sell real estate. So I got my real estate license in California when I was going through that process, knowing I was gonna leave the corporate job. And then one day after I got my license in California, I decided, you know what, I think I wanna move to Scottsdale and plant a flag there and do real estate there. So that was 7 years ago. Everyone in life faces adversity. I tell my sons all the time, like, when adversity strikes, you have two options in life. You can either let the adversity beat you and kind of succumb to it, or you can look adversity in the eye and say, I'm going to beat you today, like I'm going to own you. And I've always just chosen to try to take the positive route and figure out a way through the adversity, as opposed to wilt to it. So how have I handled it? I've always kind of taken a step back, tried to analyze what is happening to me, why is it happening to me, and then figure out the best plan through that adversity. You can't run around it, you got to run through it, and you got to attack it head on. Put together a plan of how to overcome it, and then move forward. Well, I think that success is evolving. You know, the goals that you had 2 or 3 years ago are different than the goals that you're going to have, you know, as you continue to move down that path. And that's not always necessarily just, oh, I want to sell more. It's, you know, do I want to, in the real estate world, is it things like I want to have investment properties, or I want to, you know, do flips, or I want to do spec builds. I mean, there's a lot of things that could change the goals that you have. But like I said, I think they just evolve. And for me, success is not just a sales number. Success is winning for a client. I tell the team all the time, like, you don't chase success by a commission check. You chase success by winning and crushing it for every single client you work for, because then those clients end up loving you, referring you, become repeat clients, and then the business and the money just follows with it, right? Because when you have success that way, then you get paid. But too many people look at, ooh, success is I just closed this big commission. Well, yeah, but did you do that because by doing the right thing for your client, or were you just chasing the check? So that's how I deem success. Yes, we have sales goals and we have things that we want to achieve, but it's all driven off winning for our client. Get a mentor. Hands down, find a mentor, because I don't care what career you're in. Our profession is very hard because you don't learn that much going through the real estate school. And I know that sounds terrible, but you don't. It's real world experience. You get knowledge and from doing deals, just doing all kinds of deals, and having somebody in your corner that you can lean on, ask questions to, guide you, because there's a lot of moving parts you're never going to learn from the school. So any young real estate person, when they reach out and they say, hey, can I take 15 minutes and buy a coffee and pick your brain? The first thing I tell them is find a mentor. Work with somebody that you trust and believe in and learn the ropes. And maybe you stay with them long term, and maybe it's for a year or two, whatever that looks like for you, but find a mentor and just soak up as much information as you can. Well, I think there's a lot of ways. First of all, I dress differently than most people in the industry for real estate agents, but that's my style and my clients love it. But I think that how I've tried to set myself apart is just the way that I interact with my clients and the communication that I have and the follow-up I have. And, you know, my goal is always to have that person say, you know, that was the best transaction that I've ever had, the best dealing with a real estate agent. So, you know, there's no secret sauce to, like, we all know the principles and the basic things that we're supposed to do. I just try to do those things maybe a little bit better. The biggest strength I've always had in sales is I've been able to understand how that person that I'm dealing with wants to be interacted with and sold to. Because the way I would interact with one person may be completely different than how I'm going to interact with someone else, just because of their personality. So you've got to understand, how am I going to change my personality I'm still the same person, but how am I going to change my demeanor and my delivery to accommodate that person the best? And so I think that that does set me apart, because I've always been able to understand that about people and know how I can adapt to make sure I service them the best I can.